Right, Linda and Alan, this resignation is, of course, no surprise, but the timing, just 9 days after the election and 69 days before the inauguration, well, that is putting a lot of pressure on Governor Rod Blagojevich to name a replacement ASAP, because the Senate goes back to work in Washington on Monday, and Illinois does, in fact, need representation. As for Barack Obama, he says that it's been an honor and a privilege to serve the people of Illinois in the Senate, but to realize their simple hopes and common dreams as president, he's got to put all of his energy into this transition. Barack Obama's resigning from the U.S. Senate now instead of later, so there won't be any divided loyalties as he tackles the full-time job of putting together a new administration. And if you're looking for a top-level position at the Obama White House, you've got to answer 63 very personal and wide-ranging questions on this 7-page personnel application, like whether you've sent any emails or text messages that could embarrass you or the new administration, websites like Facebook and MySpace that have personal information about you, gun ownership, you or your family, all legal problems, including traffic violations with fines above $50, ties to financial institutions involved in the federal bailout, and do you go by any fictitious names, any aliases or handles?
If they're asking every applicant for a job to fill out that kind of questionnaire, it's going to make a lot of people nervous.
Chicago lawyer Sam Skinner, who was chief of staff and transportation secretary in the first Bush administration, says the information is necessary, but he worries about confidentiality.
Whoever submits that application has the absolute right to privacy as it relates to that information. So if you're going to ask that kind of information that you've talked about here, you've got to have some real safeguards for it.
Meanwhile, Obama's chief of staff, Rahm Emanuel, is apologizing to the Arab American community for something his father said after his appointment. Dr. Benjamin Emanuel, who was born in Israel but now lives in Wilmette, told an Israeli newspaper that obviously he'll influence the president to be pro-Israel. Why wouldn't he? What is he, an Arab? He's not going to be mopping floors at the White House. Are you offended?
I'm not offended because, again, the source of that comment is someone who, in my mind, is irrelevant. But I am concerned. I'm concerned because his son is now in a very powerful position in Washington, a gatekeeper to the next U.S. president.
As of this morning, Rahm Emanuel was reacting to the controversy by simply reaffirming Barack Obama's commitment to Israel. But this afternoon, Emanuel telephoned the head of the Arab American Anti-Discrimination Committee to apologize and to suggest a face-to-face meeting in the near future. But as for the future, it is now for Governor Rod Blagojevich, who is likely to face a lot of heat if he doesn't fill that Senate seat quickly, and a lot of heat if he picks the wrong person in the eyes of the pals, the pundits, and the public. And that decision better come in a couple days. As I said, the Senate reconvenes on Monday, and you can't leave a seat open.
List is getting shorter, at least. It appears anyway. Valerie Jarrett's not going to be a part of that.
One reliable source said the final list at this point: Tammy Duckworth from Veterans Affairs, Emil Jones, the former Senate president and Obama's mentor, Luis Gutierrez, the congressman, Lisa Madigan, the Illinois Attorney General, and fifth on the list, according to one source, the governor himself, even though he said previously he wouldn't appoint himself.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Okay.
No Jesse Jackson on that list.
That's right.
Something of a surprise, but he is not popular among a lot of other Illinois leaders.